dorsiflexion, and how to treat your glassy ankle. So what's the big deal about dorsiflexion? Number one, it's not just about your feet and ankles. Number two, it's always there. And number three, it's majorly overlooked. First, what is dorsiflexion? It's a flexion in the dorsal direction towards your back, more specific to the upward motion of your feet as you can see in the video. Now, with this being said, let's jump in this tutorial. Number one, dorsiflexion isn't just about your feet and ankles. By training it, you're also training other parts of your lower legs, like the muscles around your Achilles and all the way up to your knees. And as you can see in the video, in the red circle, every time I do this dorsiflexion movement with my foot, well, you can see my fingers lifting up a bit. That's just from the muscle of my knees. Just on the exterior side of your knees, there are muscles, and whenever you do dorsiflexion, it's going to activate, and that will help you prevent more injuries and be sturdier in your landings. Number two, dorsiflexion is always there, especially if you're tricking, you're jumping, you're landing, but it's also there whenever you walk or run or do any other physical activities that requires you to be on your feet. Other than that, you just gotta know about the mechanical process of landing. Anytime you land, there's a reaction chain. It's all for one purpose, and that is to absorb shock. The first things to touch when you land are your toes and the balls of your feet, and then your heels touches, your ankles start to bend, dorsiflexion's happening, and then after that, finally, well, your knees will just bend proportionally to the energy left to absorb. So from that, we can say that, yeah, it's always there. So you're better off training it and knowing about it than, just not knowing about it and asking yourself some questions. Number three, it's majorly overlooked. People just don't know about it. That frustrates me. I mean, as a coach, as a tricking athlete, it has frustrated me in the way that people don't know about it and that I didn't know about it. And yeah, so I've had numerous ankle sprains and injuries, and now it's kind of my duty to teach tricking in a pain-free way and make sure that I prevent injuries for as many people as I can. But yeah, still, the number of times people tell me they had no idea about this concept of dorsiflexion, or when trickers just go on without knowing about it, it's just the perfect reflection as to why I think it's overlooked. And yeah, I'm always surprised about that one. I don't want to rant about it or ramble too long on it, but that's one of the point why I'm making this tutorial, is to make sure that people know about it. So with this being said, let's get into the conditioning part of it. It's pretty simple. The first exercise is just mainly focusing onto the movement, the dorsiflexion movement. You're going to put your back onto the wall and your butt onto the wall. Just let your heels touch the ground and lift your toes as much as you can. And other than that, you can then change position, take up your butt from the wall. That will make the movement a bit harder. And after that, you just go into a chair position as high or as low as possible. Make sure that you make the movement your own. It's really the most important part of this, is not to do what I'm doing, to just make it your own. Make your own trainings of it and do your own reps. That's the most important part of it. The second drill can be kind of tricky. Make sure that you keep your hips and your knees in line. Don't drive your heels too high if you're struggling with it. So you just get your toes to the wall, and then after you get your knees to the wall. So if it's easy, just back up a few inches. If it's hard, keep on doing it. Don't go too far. You don't want to raise your heel. And then the second part of this drill, this one's like more of a, knee training and leg training. So it's pretty much the same thing. You go as far as you can, and then at the last second, you want to raise your heel as much as you can and touch the wall. That's it. Okay, so now that we've seen the conditioning part of it, which was pretty simple, let's get into the stretching part. This is also super simple. So you're going to get into kind of a push-up position into the wall, just as if you're going to stretch your calves, but then after you're going to bend your knees inward, and that will put pressure into your ankles. Be wary of the pain. Make sure that you don't go through your threshold. You don't want to crunch all those little muscle fibers and ligaments and all the other stuff that I don't know about. So yeah, just make sure you keep in mind the pain. Second one, super simple also, is as if you're going to step onto a stair, but you're just going to push your knee forward as much as you can. Again, be wary of the pain, okay? I cannot press this anymore. It's okay if you feel some pain, just make sure that you don't go too far. Last one is super simple. You just stand on the block and let gravity do the work. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Get into a position. Make sure that you just have your toes or the ball of your feet onto the stair. You can do this on a dictionary. You can do this on a stair. You can do this. It's super easy, super accessible training. And yeah, again, make sure that you're aware of the pain that you feel. You don't want to push too hard, especially in this. This one's easy to push through and to get hurt with because you're dealing with gravity. For the last part of this video, here's a quick tip or quick hack to make sure that you can still drill some movements that the dorsiflexion is holding you back from, as the deep squatting or pistol squatting. So if you're like me and you're really tense in your ankles and you're wondering why you can't do pistol squats or deep squatting, well, the answer is probably in your ankles. So most people don't really lack mobility in their knees or hips. It's really in their ankles. So if you can't bend your ankles into a certain degree, well then you're just gonna fall backward. All right. So make sure that you just elevate your heels a bit, and that will help you complete those movements. Before we close this video, I just want to throw some special shoutouts. First one is to Dogan, the creator of the titanium ankles tutorial. His video is the main inspiration source for this tutorial, so make sure you give it a watch. It's going to be in the link's going to be in the description. And also, I want to shout out my friend Mathieu Saint-Onge. He's a great physiotherapist, and there's some of the stuff in my tutorial that comes from him. So make sure that you hit him up if you need to get treatment or if you have any questions. So that's it for my first tutorial. Let me know if you liked it. Give any feedback. All feedback is good feedback. Let me know what you would like for the second tutorial. And yeah, I'm a tricker. I'm a coach. I do tricking. I do parkour. All of it. So let me know if you want to book a session or if you have questions or want to talk or have any kind words. So thank you for listening, and on to the next one. Woo!